What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to World According to Briggs. Let's talk about nursing home costs. For a lot of us, this is something that we've looked into or thought about. Either it's because you're getting closer to that phase of your life, or you have a parent, let's say a grandparent, facing this in the near future. If you've looked into this, you already know it can get expensive. So much so, for a lot of us, you end up doing it at home on your own. You just take care of your loved one at home. I ended up doing that for my mother-in-law. She had COPD. She just didn't want to be in a home all the time, so we ended up taking care of her at home. In case you don't know, nursing homes provide residential care for elderly or disabled people. Some nursing homes also provide short-term rehabilitation for those who have undergone surgery, illness, injuries that include physical therapy, things like that. I have a friend right now, he shattered his hip in a car accident, and he's been in one of these places for like 2 months. He could go home, but there's no one there to take care of him, and he needs care all the time. He's only 40. Nursing homes typically have nurses, physical therapists, and certified nursing assistants to help you out. Some available 24 hours a day. Probably not the physical therapist. Those people like keep 9 to 5 hours. But nurses and nursing assistants, things like that, they're always there for you. The cost of nursing home depends on many factors: length of stay, location, care needed, is it inclusive, and what type of place it is. There's also higher cost for a private room versus semi-private room. Semi-private is where you have a roommate and your beds are typically separated by a curtain. That's it. If you've researched this, you know private insurance and things like Medicaid pay for a portion and you pay for some of it. So in a lot of cases, I'm going to give you these numbers and they might not be what you're paying yourself. Some of it may be picked up by insurance. Today, we're giving you all 50 states and what the average monthly cost is in each state for both semi-private and private rooms according to Senior Life and Medicaid. I will tell you to stay till the end and be prepared to spit out whatever you're drinking when you hear the numbers at the end. It's scary. It'll make you move out of the state before you get near that point in your life. All right, let's see what we found. 51. Oklahoma. Yeah, Oklahoma's pretty cheap in a lot of different areas, and nursing homes is one of them. For a semi-private room, you are looking at $4,639 a month, and if you want to be a single, you're looking at $5,293 a month on average. 50. Texas. Look at that. Texas is cheap for both the young and the elderly. Semi-private in Texas is $4,798. If you want a private room, there's a little bit of a jump here. It's $6,540 on average every single month. Way to go, Texas. Relatively cheap housing and relatively cheap nursing home costs. Not bad. 49. Missouri. Missouri has an older population. They're one of the older states we have. Not a lot of young people are moving into Missouri, so they just have an older population. If you're in that older population, you're looking at $5,019 a month for a semi-private and $5,543 to have a private room. 48. Louisiana. I don't know why anyone want to live in Louisiana in their youth or as they get older, but people do. And if you want a semi-private room here, you're looking at $5,232 a month on average. And to get your own room, you're looking at $5,542. 47. Arkansas. Like Louisiana, who would really want to live here? I don't know. People do. I shouldn't say that because their land is beautiful. They just got some pretty nasty areas that need to be, I don't know, mowed down or something. But if you want to live in a nursing home in Arkansas, you're looking at $5,353 for a semi-private room, and to live alone, you're looking at $5,986 a month on average. 46. Kansas. Like Missouri, they have an older population, and as the years go on, they're going to need more and more beds to accommodate that older population. But right now, if you want a semi-private room in the Jayhawk State, you're looking at $5,414 a month on average, and to live alone, you're looking at $5,865 a month on average. 45. Illinois. So the numbers here are going to be rural Illinois or outside of Chicago. Anything in Chicago is expensive. I took a quick glance. Some of the nicer nursing homes in Chicago are too expensive to talk about in polite company. So if you're going to move into a nursing home in Illinois, it's going to be outside of the city, and you're looking at $5,916 for a semi-private room on average and $6,753 a month to live alone. 44. Utah. Utah's beautiful, and you could pick a lot worse places to live in a nursing home or to live in general. So this isn't a bad place to live, and it's relatively inexpensive compared to other states. But for a semi-private room in Utah, you're looking at $6,083, but they take a little bit more of a jump up. If you want to live alone, that's $7,604 a month on average. 43, Iowa. Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, they're all in the same area and they share a lot of the same issues. But if you want a semi-private room at a nursing home in Iowa, you're looking at $6,083 a month on average. And to live alone, you're looking at $6,479. 42, Alabama. If you want to be in a nursing home in the heart of Dixie, it'll cost you $6,279 a month on average for a semi-private room and $6,661 to live alone. 41, Georgia. Staying in the South, we have the Peach State, Georgia. Georgia's a lot like Florida, they just don't have as many beaches. They have some beautiful places to live, so it might not be the worst place to retire or grow old. If you want to live in a semi-private room in a nursing home in Georgia, you're looking at $6,342 a month on average, and to live alone, you're looking at $6,768 a month. 40. Tennessee. The volunteer state will give you a semi-private room for $6,388 a month on average, and about a $500 jump for a private room. You'll get that for $6,844. A little less than $500, but not a bad place to stay. 39, South Carolina. They got a lot of people moving out of South Carolina these days. Actually, the younger people are flooding out of there, and a lot of older people are moving in. They better start growing some more nursing homes because they don't have enough, according to one article I read. But if you want a semi-private room in South Carolina, you're looking at $6,418 a month, and if you want to live alone, you're looking at $7,209. 38, Arizona. This is one of the most popular retirement destinations in this country, and I'm kind of shocked that there's this low on this chart. They're kind of inexpensive, and I would have expected them to be a lot more expensive considering how many people are retiring and growing old in Arizona these days. But if you want a semi-private room, you're only looking at $6,494 on average in Arizona, and to live in a private room, you're looking at $7,908. 37, South Dakota. This one's probably a little too cold for most people getting up there in years, but they do have people staying there. If you want a semi-private room in South Dakota, you're looking at $6,616 on average. And if you want to get your own room, you're looking at $7,072 a month. 36, Mississippi. I'm kind of shocked they're charging anything to live in this state, but they are. They're at number 36. They're getting closer to the middle of the pack, and this place blows. If you want to grow old in Mississippi, you're looking at $6,692 a month on average. And to get your own place in the Magnolia State, you're looking at $7,087 on average per month. 35, Kentucky. Kentucky can get cold in the winter. So again, retirees tend not to go places like this, and then you definitely don't want to get in the later years in a cold climate for most people. I mean, they're not the worst, but Kentucky does get some cold winters. But if you do decide to stay and brave the cold winters, you're looking at $6,844 a month on average for a semi-private room, and this is a good jump, $7,604 for a private room on average in the Bluegrass State. 34, Indiana. Over the last couple of years, I've kind of started liking Indiana a little bit more. The more things I read and the more research I've done, Indiana gets a worse reputation than they deserve. That's my opinion. So it might not be the worst place to go into the golden years. But if you do, to get a semi-private room, you're looking at $6,859 a month on average. And you got a good step up here for a private room. That's $8,243 a month on average. 33, Nebraska. Nebraska's getting a little more expensive than I think they should be. I mean, they're just like Iowa, they're just like Kansas, but they're farther up the list than those two were by a good stretch. But if you want to stay in Nebraska in the golden years, you're looking at $6,905 a month on average. And to get your own room, $7,266. 32, North Carolina. The Tar Heel State isn't really that popular these days with the older crowd. Definitely younger people are moving in here in droves pretty much. They still have nursing homes and they still got people that need nursing homes. And if you're one of them, it's going to cost you $6,950 a month on average for a semi-private room and $7,711 to live alone. 31, Montana. Who knew they had nursing homes in Montana? I had no idea. I thought those people were so independent, they just grow old alone, determined to make it to the end without needing a nursing home. That's kind of the attitude you get from people in Montana. But they do. And if you do want a semi-private room in one of the Montana nursing homes, it's going to set you back $7,006 a month for a semi-private room and $7,310 a month to live alone and be independent. 30. Ohio. Ohio's kind of a strange place. In most states, if you move into the city, it's going to be more expensive. Other than Columbus, all the other cities in Ohio are probably cheaper to live than in a rural community. You should be paid to live in most parts of Cleveland, actually. But if you want to live in a nursing home in Ohio, you're looking at $7,118 a month on average for a semi-private room and $7,908 to live alone. 29. Wyoming. Like Montana, who knew that they had nursing homes in Wyoming? It really seems like a place where they just, to the last day, they're staying at home, working in the yard or something, pulling a transmission out at 87. But if you do go into a nursing home in Wyoming, you're looking at $7,178 to have a curtain between you and a neighbor, and $7,543 if you want to live alone. 28. New Mexico. How did they get this far onto the list? They shouldn't be this expensive. But if you do want to live in a nursing home in New Mexico, you're looking at $7,285 a month for semi-private, and for private, it is $7,619 a month on average. 27. Virginia. You know, Virginia's a nice state. It gets cold in the winter, which is usually a deterrent for most retirees and people of the nursing home age. They don't want to be in that cold, but it's a nice state other than the cold. If you want to stay in this nice state and get through a couple of those winters, you're looking at $7,452 a month on average for a semi-private room, and it takes a good jump here. $8,517 for a private room for a nursing home in Virginia. 26. Idaho. Idaho, again, it's like Montana and Wyoming. They're all the same state, in my opinion. They're not really, but they're very similar in a lot of their ways. Independent, very much live in the country lifestyle whenever they can. It's how people in Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming are. It's just how it is. But if you want to grab a nursing home room in Idaho, you're looking at $7,574 for a semi-private, $8,045 a month on average for a private room. Now, before we get to number 25, little intermission thing here. We are talking about averages, and we will get all kinds of comments in the comment section below about my mom lives in a place and these numbers are wrong because she's in Idaho and you said it's $8,045 for a private room. I'm paying $9,220. We'll get that. I promise you. Something like that. We're talking averages here, so just let it go. All right, on to number 25. 25. Colorado. One of my favorite states, Colorado, and we're at the midway point. If you want to live in a semi-private room in Colorado, you're looking at $7,892 and even $9,000 to live alone in a nursing home in Colorado. 24. Florida. This is a shocker. Everyone wants to retire in Florida, and here they are at the number 24 spot. Just basic economics tell you if something's in demand, it's going to be expensive. Florida's going against the grain. If you want a semi-private room in Florida, $8,152 a month on average, and $9,064 for a private room. 23. Nevada. Nevada's gotten more and more popular with the younger people of California and the older people. A lot of people are moving to Nevada for retirement and then eventually nursing home type life. But if you want a semi-private room in the Silver State, you're looking at $8,228 a month on average and $9,262 to live alone. And knowing Nevada, they probably have like slot machines in these nursing homes. 22. Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin, but again, we run into the problem with this is a northern state and it gets cold. So they don't have as big a nursing home population as they probably would if they were a little bit warmer. So this is a beautiful state and it's nice and the people are great. But if you want to live in a semi-private room here, it's $8,334. And to get a private room, you're looking at $9,346. 21. California. Who let them slip in at 21? This is like the most expensive state, and they're letting people spend their golden years in the golden state? This cheap? Unacceptable. They should be the top of the list. Anyway, if you want a semi-private room in California, you're looking at $8,365 a month on average and $9,817 for a private room. Number 20, Michigan. How is Michigan more expensive than California? It's weird. But if you want a semi-private room in Michigan, you're looking at $8,562 a month on average, and a private room, $9,125. 19. Washington. The Evergreen State is beautiful. It's kind of like Oregon. It's just a beautiful place to be. They got other problems here in Oregon, but Washington and Oregon, in my opinion, are two of the most beautiful states you could ever spend any time in. And if you want to spend your golden years in Washington in a nursing home, it's going to be $8,669 a month for a semi-private room, and for a private room, you're looking at $9,718. 18. Rhode Island. Yeah, people do retire and grow old in Rhode Island. Oddly enough, for a semi-private room, it's $8,821, and for a private room, $9,733. 17. Minnesota. This one's a little weird. We're getting up there in the price now, cracking $9,000. If you want a semi-private room in Minnesota, you're looking at $9,125, and to get a private room, it's $10,188 a month on average. That is starting to get expensive. 16. Maryland. I'm sure most of these prices are outside of Baltimore. Baltimore is such a weird city. I mean, it's a major city and it's going to be expensive, but it's also an extremely dangerous city. So I'm not sure if it should be expensive or they should actually pay you to live there because it's so dangerous. Who knows? If you want a semi-private room in Maryland, you're looking at $9,231 a month on average, and to get a private room, you're looking at $9,673. 15. Oregon. Yes, my home state. Well, my new home state. I'm originally from California, in case you don't know. Grew up in Southern California, moved here about 11 years ago. But before you say anything, I lived all over the country with the military, so don't even start. But if you want to spend your golden years here in Oregon, you're looking at $9,277 a month and $9,977 for a private room. 14. Maine. Another one of my favorite states. I love Maine. Look at that. 15 was Oregon. 14 was Maine. They both have a Portland for a major city. Coincidence? I think not. Moving on. If you want a semi-private room in Maine, you're looking at $9,429 a month on average and $10,098 for a private room in Maine. 13. Vermont. Vermont is a beautiful state, and I could honestly see anyone putting up with the winters there just to be living in Vermont. I could do it, even if I was much older than I am right now. But if you want a semi-private room in Vermont, you're looking at $9,475 a month on average and $9,901 for a private room. 12. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has an older population, and they have a lot of nursing homes, and those nursing homes will set you back around $9,612 a month for a semi-private room and $10,114 a month for a private room. 11. West Virginia. How did this happen? West Virginia has an older population. A higher percentage of their population is over the age of 60 than almost any other state. And nobody's making money there. So how they're this far on the list is just baffles me. But if you want a semi-private room in West Virginia, you're looking at $10,281 a month on average. And for a private room, it's $11,072. 10. New Hampshire or Vermont. If you don't live in either one of them and you went to them, you'll probably confuse the two every single day. They're very similar. New Hampshire's just a little more expensive because if you want to spend your golden years here, it's going to cost you $10,342 a month for a semi-private room and $11,102 for a private room. Number 9, Delaware. Delaware's a nice state. They got some nice beaches, but if you're not from the East Coast, you really don't ever think about Delaware or know much about Delaware, other than Wilmington is dangerous. And if you're in the military, you know about Dover because you come home in a body bag from any place, you got to go through Dover first. That's kind of a depressing thing. Anyway, in Delaware, if you want to see your golden years, you're looking at $10,494 for a semi-private and $10,950 for a private room. Number 8, New Jersey. Now, New Jersey is a weird state for so many different things. Years ago, I read an article about two older gentlemen in a nursing home. They had an argument over a woman and had a point-blank shootout in a room with 2 revolvers. Each one of them fired 8 shots. Neither one of them got hit. A nursing assistant did get hit in the leg. That was the only injury here. The reason they didn't hit each other, one guy had cataracts and the other guy was steadying himself on a walker. Welcome to New Jersey. If you want a semi-private room, I don't know if you get a firearm with that, but in New Jersey, a semi-private room is $10,646 a month on average. And if you want to live alone here, you're looking at $11,863 a month on average. 7, North Dakota. Mind blown again. It's North Dakota. It's supposed to be cheap. It's cold. What is going on with the world? There's no way North Dakota should be this far up on the list, but if you want to stay here, it's $11,027 for a semi-private room, $11,690 for a private room. 6. New York. Now that makes sense. New York's an expensive place to live. They're in the top 10 for most expensive. So yeah, makes sense. The world's back to normal. If you want to live in a nursing home in New York, you're looking at $11,756 a month on average. If you want your own room, you're looking at $12,189 a month on average. 5. Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts is expensive. Not a lot of people realize it's not as expensive as New York, but it's up there. If you want to live in a nursing home in the Baked Bean State, you're looking at $12,015 for a semi-private room, $12,775 for a private room. 4. Hawaii. See, makes sense. Hawaii is expensive. They should be number 1 because that's probably everyone's first option to grab a nursing home in. But no, they're not. They're number 4. If you want a semi-private room in Hawaii, you're looking at $12,167 a month on average, and a private room in Paradise will set you back $13,657 a month. 3. Connecticut. Why are they here? I mean, it's Connecticut. If you want to get a room in a nursing home in Connecticut, to have a roommate, it'll set you back $12,623 a month on average. And to live alone and be a bachelor or bachelorette, you're looking at $13,733 a month. 2. Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. will definitely set you back a little bit, but not as much as number 1, and number 1 is alarming. But if you want a semi-private room in Washington, D.C., you're looking at $13,723 a month, and for a private room, you're looking at $14,134 a month. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we got another channel called On This Day. There is a link down below. Hope you subscribe. Hope you watch some of those videos. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Alaska. Who saw this one coming? Alaska is expensive because everything's got to be shipped there. Land isn't terribly expensive for such a beautiful state, but land at a nursing home is painfully expensive. Now buckle up. Remember I said you're going to spit something out when you hear these numbers? Keep in mind the last one we did, Washington, D.C. was $13,000 and $14,000. For a semi-private room in Alaska, you're looking at $27,573. Yeah, you heard me right. $27,573 a month on average. A private room is $29,291 a month on average. That's freaking scary. All right, that's today's list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Have a great day. Be nice to each other.